What would be your vision for Born Defense as a company? What direction would you like to see it go?
I think, being able to cherry pick the innovations before anybody else gets to them, being able to take those people that are innovators and have a product and a concept is going to have significant benefit and helping them be successful with it. Moving it forward to where it becomes commercialized, where it becomes available both to the military and to the public where warranted, where, at the end of the day, you can say, I help save lives, I help make people's lives better because we were able to pick out those things that actually made a difference.
100%. I mean, those will be the good days. So how would you set up a system like procedures or protocols? You got the top of the funnel, which is all human knowledge, everything that we know, everything that we think that we don't know. And then from there, you've got to siphon it down to these opportunities when they manifest with ideas, with businesses, and what we're doing here. Like, what's the process to vet that? Because a guy like you and like our colleagues here at Born Defense, they're getting hit with deal flow left and right. Like, it's opportunity overload, and you've got to be able to say, okay, this is an opportunity. Maybe this one too early for us to be of any value or be worth the risk profile, but. Like what's a system that you've seen in the past work on how you boot ideas to the side versus, is it lightning dating speed rounds? Like, is it you choose some things and you go real hard at it, you look at it, then you move to the next one, you keep them all coming at once? Like, how do you deal with all the opportunity out there?
I think you filter. You find the things that really are new and innovative that nobody else is working in, and then you have to ask the question, is this right? Is this possible? What they're describing realistic? And then the second question from a business perspective is how much is it going to cost to take it to the next level? Most innovation starts with small companies. Almost everybody that's big now is buying the early development stuff from somebody else. They're not doing it internally. And if they say they're doing it internally, they're probably doing it poorly. I hate to say it, but it's true. Only because they're focused on a larger marketplace. And the innovators get to focus on small pieces that can have direct, when you're looking for a particular size nut or bolt, you can find all kinds of, nuts and bolts out there, but you want to find that one that fits. And it's being able to figure out what fits into the puzzle that you're trying to solve. And I think that, that's one of the things that I find I do fairly well. And that's not meaning to be boastful, but, it's like being able to say, this makes sense, from a physical, chemical, biological point of view, this could actually work. And there's no reason why it shouldn't. There's other people who are going to kick holes in it. That's why, you have a team that actually asks the questions is, okay, I hear what you're saying, but what about A, B, C, and D? Where can this screw up? Have we asked all the right questions? And I think the other thing you learned at DARPA is that there's a lot more that comes out of collaboration than out of competition. What I'm hoping we're able to do is collaborate amongst the team and with people to make them better than where they would have been. Listening to other people's ideas and being able to admit when you're wrong and walk away from a concept that's poorly thought out or you've made a mistake. It's always going to be about how do you get the best product out of the concept. And the other one part of that is, and if the concept isn't maturing, to be able to walk away and say it's not working, guys. And there's no animosity. It's just you need to do more work on this before we're going to be able to do anything with it. That level of honesty and integrity, I think, helps everybody. But it's also a collaborative effort when you tell somebody it's not working. So often you find people who say, no, it works, really it works. And it's like, it's not working, guys. It's not working at the level we need it to be. And I think that level of honesty is something that, that feedback loop has to be there. It's not negative. It's not intended to be destructive. It's just intended to be honest and straightforward and try to locate, in the system, where are the bottlenecks? Where's this thing hung up? And typically you find if it's hung up for one group, it's hung up for everybody at the same point. And, working through those bottlenecks is, the thing that you want to direct your funding at.
Well, you're an expert of organisms and stopping the bottlenecks, figuring out what's wrong and making sure they don't go past the breaking point and treating data like data and not being alarmed by it, right? There's no need to be alarmed. Your glucose is low.
Yeah. If everybody was perfect, we wouldn't have to have this conversation.
We're all learning how to navigate this world right now. Everybody's doing it together.
And I think the other thing that I've been working in this area for 50 years. Is in science. There's a lot of collective bits and pieces that are stuck in my brain. My wife basically says I'm full of fartless facts. But they can be integrated. It's all the little things that you filed away. That somebody brings up something and I go, have you ever thought about it this way? Or have you seen this paper? Have you looked at it like this? And experience means a lot. Somebody who's 2 years out of their postdoc and I probably have very, very different databases in our brain.
100%. You're talking about the connectivity. We talked about the neural network before, and we talked about the communication from the brain to the body, and now you're talking about the communication from one external hard drive to another. And what data points do you have in your brain that can help someone else move to the next level in their ideas? You got to connect these people up. You got to find what is a company but a group of individuals that they're sort of like a hive mind with a common purpose, trying to leverage each other's knowledge and experience to cover their flanks, cover their weaknesses, to expand upon what they're good at, to be a value add. You hear about synergy and you kind of laugh because people talk about it all the time. It seems to be a buzzword that gets overused, but that's what you're talking about. 1 + 1 = 5, 10, 20, depending on what you know and what they know. And then you got to be in the right place at the right time. You got to have timing. You got to be in the same company. You got to be in the same organization or the same network, or you'll never know what that person needs to know, and you'll never be able to help them out.
Very few people succeed alone.